again, welcome to today's attempt of a Fibble puzzle. This is Wordle, but there's a liar in every row. So maybe the L is lying, but if it is, should it be yellow or green instead? Or maybe the O, S, E or R is the one that's lying. The only way to find out is to play. It's auto-populated that first guess, and I'm just going to assume that the E is lying and that it shouldn't be in the word. So we'll ignore all 5 of these letters for now, and we'll revisit that assumption if we need to. But for now I'm just going to try a bunch of new letters. Oh wow, that's worked very nicely. So even if one of these 3 yellows is lying, we've got at least 2 correct letters. I think the B is quite likely to be the one that's lying, because if it's in the word it's pretty likely to be first. So it could be lying because it's meant to be green. I think let's assume it's lying because it's just not in the word. So we'll use the C and the N and 3 new letters if we can. The N can't be third, so it can't be candy or canny. What else can it be? If it's going to start with the C, where are we going to put this N? Can't be cumin. Why can I just think of so many words that it can't be? Maybe that just means my assumptions are wrong. It could be icing, but I really don't want to try a duplicated I. So let's try acing. I suppose that is a valid answer, even though it's much less likely to be the correct answer than icing. Okay, so it's neither, because if it was icing, the I, G, and, in fact, everything would be lying. It's definitely not icing. Okay. What does that tell us? I mean, not that many words start with an A, so it easily could be the A that's lying, but if it is, then we still don't know where the C and the N are going to go in this word. And in fact, if my assumptions are all correct, we've ruled out all of the vowels. So that feels very unlikely. Okay, maybe the assumption about the E was wrong. I suppose we could have an O and an E, couldn't we? Does that make it easier to think of words that fit? C-O-N-E and something. How would this work? It can't be an E in fourth, that's the problem. So it can't be an E-N ending, because then the E would be lying, and I've already assumed that one of the other letters is lying as well. S could be lying, maybe the E is the only vowel. Trouble is it can't be seen, S-C-E-N-E, because then C, N and A would all be lying up here. We're probably just not going to have a C at all, are we? No, but if we don't have a C, then the first letter is an A, and we've still got to fit in a B and an N, so we surely do have a C, and similarly we surely do have an N. So unless we've got a B and an A or something along those lines, and maybe this was lying or this was lying, it just feels like we haven't put the C and the N in the right spot. Let's try next. I don't think it's going to be correct because I don't think they have plurals, but I think it is at least a consistent word with the guesses I've made so far. Oh. How does this help us? Surely the K is lying, because it's just the least common letter. Oh, I know what's gone on here. It's going to be the word clean. I think the L is going to be lying there, and we're going to use the A. Now, every time I have a green letter and I mentally assume that it's lying, or I mark it as being a liar like I did here, I just ignore it. I think it's not in the word. But the A could be in the word. It could be lying because it's meant to be yellow instead. That always trips me up, but I'm pretty confident about this. And it's a nice clean end to the solve anyway, even though it was a bit of a bumpy ride to get there. We get there with only 4 guesses, to be fair. That's pretty good going. But I made so many wrong assumptions during the course of that. I suppose that's how it works quite often in this game. But anyway, we did solve the puzzle. That is a successful Fibble. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.